Hi, you with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post Live is, of course, all about your participation. So come in, use social media to get in touch with us and participate in this conversation. You can use Twitter, hashtag India Post Live to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle at India Post Live, or you can use Facebook. We have our Facebook page, India Post Live, so just go like it, post a comment over there, a photograph, a video response, anything that you want to do. We'd love to hear your comments. Also, you can go to indiapostlive.com. That's the website where you can watch this live right now, and in case you're watching it later, there are a whole host of other videos that are there for you to watch, and programs to comment upon, and there's an entire wall available for you to comment upon. So we look forward to hearing from you, and in case you want to come in and participate and be the expert, well, you're most welcome to do so. You can come in via Google Hangout and Skype, so it's really up to you. We're waiting for you to come in. Alright, so today we're talking about something that's very interesting, and this could really be the future. Yes, travel to Mars is, of course, is a reality. I mean, there have been enough missions that have gone to Mars, but the manned mission going to Mars, and that too a human habitation at Mars, well, sounds rather strange, doesn't it? But it's not really the case, because it's true, and there are many Indians who might be going to Mars. So is that really the case? Well, let's find out first.
It's an ambitious project that is literally out of this world. It's called Mars One. People will travel to Mars and live there permanently if this plan takes shape. But who would want to leave Earth? Want to take a guess? At least 200,000 people have already applied. That includes a few Indians as well. It may sound like a tale from Pulp Fiction, but that's just what the Mars One program stands for. The Netherlands-based non-profit organization plans to send 4 people to the Red Planet in 2024, with hopes of establishing the first human settlement there. While most are skeptical that the program will ever blast off the ground, the team at Mars One stands by the mission.
If you dream of the day that humans walk on another planet, this is your chance to be part of mankind's first mission to Mars.
Let's hope that this is something as true as Arnold Schwarzenegger's starrer sci-fi flick Total Recall. Till then, keep watching the skies, folks.
Alright, so is it time for humans to inhabit Mars? Can we really do that? And but who are the people who want to go? Well, we've got a few of them over here. They'll be coming in from across the world, joining us, talking about this. But in the studio, we have Mr. Dinesh Sharma. He's the former science editor at Mail Today and a respected senior journalist. And Raghu Kalra is with us. He's a general secretary of the Amateur Astronomers Association at the Nehru Planetarium, Delhi. Thanks very much for coming in, Raghu. Also, we'll be joined by Shraddha Prasad from Coimbatore. She's a candidate for Mars One. Then we have Jason Christopher Jolly coming in from Chennai. He's a student and a science enthusiast. Melissa Ed is coming in from Kingston upon Hull in the UK, and she's a Mars One candidate. And Swaroop Chattopadhyay is a Mars One candidate, and so is Palash Khan. So quite a few Indians there. But Melissa, I'll start with you. I'll come to you first. Why Mars? Why would you want to go there? And how is this going to become a reality? We believe that in 2024 the first people are going to go.
That's correct, yes. 2024 is the date we're aiming for. How will it become a reality? That is because we're getting the world involved through reality TV and building the funds to actually do this. We've got the technology to do it right now. It's just a case of money. NASA won't do it because of the money involved, but we are going to do it one way, and that cuts down on the funding. We can do it for around £6 billion, which is easily achievable when you look at revenues that TV brings from everything else. Rachel, my battery's low. Get the battery charger, please. Battery's low. Go get the battery charger.
I'll reach there. It's an iPhone charger.
Alright, while you figure out the charger, Melissa, we'll get in a few other voices as well. We have with us Shraddha. Shraddha, why Mars? And I mean, you're one of the few Indians who applied. Why would you want to go to Mars in the first place?
Let's do it here.
Where is it? Come here.
Shraddha, we can't hear you. If you could just check your mic again, please. All right, Jason, hi, can you hear me? If you can just unmute your mic and tell us why would you want to go to Mars? You're also a candidate for Mars One.
And I believe that the main reason people are so into this Mars mission at this point of time, that it's been too long since we dared to dream about something that and took such a big step. The last time was with and it's high time that we tried to take the next big step for mankind. Such missions also give rise to a lot of invention, which was seen with the last space missions. And Mars and not Moon is a better and more viable settlement location for human beings in the future. The only concerns I have, as anybody else would, are problems that come with a long space journey, the long time you have to spend to reach Mars, radiation issues. And a particular problem with Mars is the problem of dust storms that can last very long time, up to a year. These are issues that have to be addressed, but I feel that Mars is the future of the human race if we are looking for in this solar system.
All right, fair enough. I mean, given the way we are going, Mr. Sharma, it won't be surprising that we might have to eventually end up leaving Earth one day. And perhaps the time has come to actually look at such scenarios. And is this feasible? What would you make of it?
No, I can very well understand the enthusiasm of people who have lined up for this program by this company called Mars One. But we have got to be realistic of what we are talking about. You are talking about a human settlement on Mars at a time when we don't have the technology, we don't have the finance, we don't have the science part of it. I mean, a lot of issues are there. Because look at the scenario today, what we have done. Humans have reached Moon, that was many years back, and there could be more settlements on the Moon first. Then we have the International Space Station, which is about, say, 250 kilometers above the Earth. Moon is about 4 lakh kilometers from the Earth. And Mars, when we are talking about millions of kilometers, maybe 300, 400 million kilometers. So look at the dimensions of where we are today and what we are talking about. Mars, of course, the rovers have reached, robotic rovers have reached, more missions, unmanned missions to the Mars are planned. India sent the orbiter, but we are talking of sending humans. We don't have the technology for that as yet. Because first we got to, International Space Station, humans have been living, but it's like saying that the metro train in Delhi runs from Dwarka to Noida and you want to send it to the Antarctica. So the technology is there, but the dimensions are completely different. So, and it's a bit of a science fiction as of today, I would say, because even NASA's plans to have a human settlement on Mars are not clear. I mean, last week only they had a research report on how to do that. There are landmarks to do that. First, we need to reach the Moon, colonize the Moon, if you want to say, and use that as a launching pad and maybe go beyond the Moon to an asteroid or another location.
How far away are we from actually, colonizing anything in space, anything outside our planet?
It's very difficult to say, but we are several decades away from any scenario of colonizing where you could imagine that human beings going and living in outer space. We are several decades away. Forget the money part. Technology-wise, science-wise, we are several decades away.
All right, Raghu, what do you make of it? You've seen Mars through a telescope often, but would you want to go?
I would love to go, but I'm at the same time I'm realistic about it. It's a fantastic dream to go to Mars. Everybody wants to go. Kalpana Chawla wanted to go to Mars, but we, like Sir pointed out, that we have the technology, but the scales are so huge that going there and staying there. I personally believe that this particular mission that they are planning, Mars One, it's somewhat of a suicide mission of some sort, because it's a one-way ticket. You're not coming back, and colonizing it, and what next? You send 4 people to Mars, but what will they do there, and how will they survive? And And it's not the small things. There are so many big challenges in hand. These people say that they need just $6 billion to perform this mission, but NASA recently, while planning a mission to Mars for their 18-year stay, these guys say that they'll stay there for a lifetime. For an 18-year mission, NASA predicted somewhere around $100 billion that they'll need to do this, and the only source of funding that these people are planning is crowdsourcing and reality TV. Now everybody knows that reality TV is fun, but this is something totally different. Science and reality TV should not go hand in hand like this.
All right, Melissa, I mean, it's a fair question. I mean, the technology at that scale really doesn't exist. Nobody's done it before. I mean, yeah, and you're saying in just a decade, I mean, from crowdsourcing of this entire project, you can actually send a person to Mars?
From crowdfunding, yes, I think you can. It's when you think of Olympic Games, for instance, the amount of people who watch the Olympic Games, the revenue that was created from it, from everything that was sold to do with it, the souvenirs, everything else, yes, it can be done. There was billions created there. You're saying $100 million NASA need. That is because they are bringing those people back after the time that they've spent there. We are not coming back. They do not need the funds to get us back. So we can do it on £6 billion.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I want to get in Palash. Palash is also a Mars One candidate. So, Palash, I mean, realistically speaking, you think in 10 years you could be one of the people who could be going to Mars, and would you want to be one of those 10 people? I mean, you've applied for it, so I'm presuming that you are.
Yeah, but the main challenge for this Mars mission is, of course, technology. But then we have also the problem of what I think is maybe the most critical problem is, in this case, maybe the funding. If funding is quite enough, we can develop the technology, and then the necessary technology can be developed in, let's say, within 10 to 15 years. Now, if you look at the international private space organizations like SpaceX, they are also they are also planning to send humans on Mars. So this needs public attention, that really want to go to Mars, and once we dream everyone that we can go to Mars, it can be a reality. There is no doubt.
All right, Mr. Sharma, I mean, it is a possibility, but
what people are confusing with is space tourism.
Yeah.
That is a reality today. You can book a ticket.
No, but if Elon Musk can do it at SpaceX,
I mean,
then yeah.
Virgin Galactic,
Branson,
Branson. But what he is doing is he's just taking you to the edge of space, which is say 250 to 275 kilometers. You spend a few minutes, you experience zero gravity, and you are back to Earth, which is something completely, the scale is completely different. So technology for doing this exists. As I said, technology to go to the space station exists. The technology to go around the Earth exists. There is the orbital tourism also happening from Russia. What Virgin Galactic is doing is suborbital. They are just taking you to the space, and there is a free fall, and you feel the zero gravity. What the Russians are doing, which is they are selling one ticket a year, which is $30 million, is to take you around the Earth, that is the orbital tourism. So those possibilities exist, but you're talking of something, space travel of 6 to 9 months. How do humans survive that journey? There are all kinds of radiation, there are psychological problems, there are physiological problems. How do you live in, travel 300, 400 million kilometers for 9 months? Indian orbiter was launched in November and is going to reach there in September 2014. So the journey itself is going to be grueling, number one. Number two, when you're talking of settlement, you need to send several missions before these guys arrive in 23 or 24, which they are talking. So of course, Mars One is saying that they'll start sending these unmanned missions before, so that cargo can be left there, and there can be a settlement before that, which look very, very far-fetched to me.
All right. We have a question that is coming from Los Angeles, United States. Beverly Bombay has sent in a video question, so let's listen into what Beverly has to say.
Hello everybody, my name is Beverly Bombay. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I want to thank India Post Live for allowing me to ask a question here in their forum. And my question is, upon arrival, what measures will the settlers immediately put into place to sustain themselves independently with oxygen and water for their forever survival? Thank you so much.
All right, so a hypothetical scenario, Mr. Sharma, a hypothetical scenario, if we reach, what would be the basic this thing? I mean, in terms of technology, do we have that technology to create an entire ecosystem, an ecosphere, something like that? Or you want to
Absolutely
come in on
not.
this?
Well, I was reading their plans on what they plan to do. So the plan is to go there, use the soil. There is a moisture content in the Martian soil, of course. Nobody denies that because it's there. And they plan to take out water from it. And they plan to take out different like oxygen and different minerals that they can dig out of the soil itself. So it's a good dream. I love the idea. But they doing it on such a huge scale, and doing this particular thing would be done unmanned, absolutely, because man would come later on in the picture. They would use robotics and different things to take out oxygen and different minerals out of it and they store it later on. But good idea, but execution is not that easy.
When we say the possibilities of water existing, don't think that there's a flowing water on the surface of Mars. It just exists in the molecular form, and it has to be extracted. And how do you survive? And the Martian atmosphere is hostile. You don't have the ozone layer to protect you from the ultraviolet and all kinds of radiations there.
Another problem is the gravity there. Gravity of Mars is not as it is on Earth. The Martian gravity is much less than Earth, and gravity has its own problems. When we had sent missions to Moon, gravity was a big problem during the entire mission. And the other thing is that we forget this thing, that sending humans to space as of now is not a very feasible idea. Now, why did we stop the missions to Moon? Because one, the problem is we have to bring them back. Now, these guys are removing that possibility. We are not bringing back anybody. But their sustainability, they have to stay there, they have to eat, they have to do so many other things. So it is not a feasible idea right now, presently. Future, of course, we have to eventually move out of this planet. It's like Carl Sagan had said that this is a cradle. A kid needs to step out of its cradle and move out and do long journeys. Mars is, of course, a step. Buzz Aldrin had recently said that we would reach Mars, we would have humans going to Mars, but it would be around 2035. And he also, but categorically said that Mars One may not be the first ones doing it. So it's a brilliant idea, but we need to put more minds to it. They have good minds working there, but we still have
all right,
a long way to
so a
go.
little bit more on the specifics, perhaps, of the exactitudes and the exact technology and what they would be using. Coram Ellis from Perth, Australia, has also sent in a video response. Let's listen into what they had to say.
My name is Coram Ellis from Perth, Western Australia, and I'm one of the remaining 705 Mars One candidates worldwide. I would like to thank India Post Live for this fantastic opportunity to speak to you all. In 2011, Baz Lansdorp established Mars One, a platform designed to send humans to Mars in 2024. The Mars One program plans on sending humans to Mars from surface to surface, meaning a rocket from the surface of Earth will leave on a direct trajectory to Mars orbit before descending into the Martian atmosphere and settling on the surface to join other pre-sent habitat modules that will already be on the surface, harvesting air and water for our survival. These habitat modules will shield us from most of the extreme elements we'll be exposed to otherwise on the surface of Mars, and they'll be our homes. In them we will grow our food, recycle our air, water and waste, and sustain our human life cycle. We'll collect solar energy on the surface of Mars to help keep us warm and power our devices and our vehicles. Our food will be grown in small, highly efficient growing modules. My contribution to the program is in this field of microhorticulture, where I already work with microhorticulture systems designed to minimize waste and grow organic healthy food automatically in small spaces. The Mars One program is likely to be the first human endeavour that will see people settle on the surface of Mars. The first human delivery of cargo will consist of only 4 Marsstronauts. 18 months later, the program intends to send another 4 settlers to join the first 4 and to expand the habitat and living conditions to accommodate more settlers in the future. The first few years will be very, very difficult. There'll only be 4 people. Each individual in that crew of 4 will only have 3 immediate friends to rely upon. Those friends will become family, and these people will live together and require each other for support and safety on the surface of Mars. We will have constant communication back with Earth, but there is a 20-minute delay either way with the communications from each planet. If I could take only one thing with me to Mars, it would be a blank, open book. For me, the Mars One agenda is about learning and about discovery, to take human life to Mars and to use human eyes and ears to get a human perspective on the surface of Mars, on the features, on the wonders. I intend to fill that book with information, with thoughts, with emotions, with reflections, and be able to convey what I can back to Earth about what it's like to live on Mars and what it's like to be the first members of a dual world species. I'm now very committed to the Mars One program. All my learning and endeavours have led to this, and I sincerely hope to be one of the first 4 human cargo to Mars in 2024, and to be one of the first humans to set foot on another planet and maintain a human life cycle on the surface of Mars.
All right, so there you had a Mars One candidate telling about the challenges and the reasons for him doing it and what he would be doing there. And we have a whole host of people who've applied for this. I want to go across to you, Shraddha, because you're quite young. What do your parents have to say about this? Do they agree with you on the fact that that you're applying to go to Mars?
Yeah, my parents are kind of worried right now, I would say. But yeah, it's not, just for me. It's the same for everybody. So I'll just have to see. There's a lot of time for this mission to actually take place. So I'm just going to have to, go with the plan right now and just see how things turn out.
All right. I think we'll all have to wait to see how this turns out. I'd like to thank all of you for coming in and sharing your perspectives on this with us. Thank you very much, Palash, Melissa, Jason, Shraddha, and also the video response from Beverly, Bombay. And also thank you very much, Raghu Kalra and Dinesh Sharma, for coming in and sharing your ideas on Mars One. So, well, is it time for humans to go to Mars? What do you have to think about it? Write into us. Tell us for sure. Because we at least promise you that we'll put you out there, not on Mars, but at least your view out there. On that note, we'll wrap up. Thanks so much for watching.